Hello and thank you for contacting Wave. I see from your request that you're struggling with centration on this design for this patient. And looking at the design that you have, we'll start by looking at your topography. As you can see, you have this area of steepening kind of in the lower third of the cornea, which will explain why a more spherical design lens will probably drop and ride low. It's going to want to try to center over that area that's a little more elevated. So you've got a natural tendency for this lens to drop down to try to center around that area. So ideally you want to design off as much of this corneal surface as we can design with. And to do that, I see why you chose the G-SIM, which is a nice concept. One thing I would probably consider doing when you open up this design, instead of averaging out the cornea astigmatism, I would try to not average it out. Sometimes the averaging tool will hide some of the unique corneal topography, thus affecting the overall fit. So what I'd first do is go ahead and reopen up the lens, not averaging, and then you want to design off as much of this topography as you can. So if I show you a design here, I pulled up one here from the bottom. This is one where I did not average the astigmatism. And you'll see in that lower right-hand corner of the quad view, you've got a corneal topography that looks very similar to the actual patient topography, whereas the averaged corneal topography in the original design that you did seems to miss a little bit more, looks a little more symmetrical. So I think that will help if you get a little more data to design off of. And then I would also take out the S factor. The aspheric concept is very nice. However, I have noticed sometimes when you design off the aspheric platform, although the lens looks nice on the computer design here, they'll have a tendency to slide around a little bit. So sometimes if I'm having experiences like that, especially if I'm trying to really get this lens to center, I'll take out the S factor. And then sometimes I would consider going to freeform, because freeform, if you recall, will let you pick up each meridian and probably get that lens to more closely match that cornea. Remember, we're trying to get this lens using every tool we can to get it to center. So I would consider going to freeform. Definitely go up to the larger diameter, 10 as you did. I would push the diameter even further if you can get away with it. Some of these cases I find myself even going up to almost the entire horizontal visible iris diameter. So I would go 10 to 10.5 if the patient can tolerate it. Consider switching over to freeform, and I think those without the S factor, and I think that will help get this lens centered a little bit better for you. If you still have some movement, excessive movement on the lens, then switch over to axial design. As you recall, axial will snug the lens up another half diopter or so, but I think I would try with those designs. That should help get this lens centered, and hopefully that'll get you a much more successful fit. Also, I think if you get away from averaging the astigmatism in this particular patient, that may allow for a little bit more accurate calculation for the optics of this lens, and hopefully that'll help improve the clarity also. So anyways, I wish you well with this case. Thank you for contacting Wave Support, and have a great day.